Before you start out on your quest for 100% in Red Dead Redemption, there are various things to keep in mind. Although the guide will show you step by step how to achieve every part, listening to this video first will be worth your while to ensure you use the guide properly and don't miss anything. When using the guide, pay particular attention to the start screen of each video. This will notify you if you need to combine any tasks, for example, completing a challenge during a mission. Below the Red Dead Redemption title, missions and stranger side quests will also show the icon you are looking for on the map to start this activity. Also read the description quickly to see if there are any optional things you can do which will be helpful, and for tips on how I execute each stage, which might not always be immediately obvious just by watching the video alone. When it comes to achievements trophies, there are a number that you might get at various points in the game, not necessarily at the same time I do, even if we follow the exact same route. In a Hail of Bullets requires you to get 500 kills with pistols or revolvers. If you play like me, it is likely you didn't get this in the main game, but the good news is it is much easier in Undead Nightmare, as revolvers are just as effective as any other weapon. So I recommend you use your revolver exclusively from the start of the game. If you see a lone undead, simply walk up to them with your weapon drawn and pull the trigger, which will lead to an execution, automatic headshot kill in a cutscene. Where there are multiple undead getting close, use Deadeye to headshot them all. If you didn't get Bullseye in the main game, requiring you to get 250 headshots, you almost certainly will in the Undead Nightmare expansion using this approach. Spinning plates requires you to have all the towns saved on the map at once. The catch here is that when you save a town, it may come under attack again later in the story, and you'll have to go back and save it again. I have shown in the guide where this happened for me in my playthrough, but be aware that this may not happen at exactly the same points for you. It will depend how quickly you do things, how often you manually save by sleeping in a bed, as the more time that elapses, the more likely existing towns will come under attack again. If you want this award, keep an eye out for notifications that a town has come under attack. When you see this, finish the activity you are doing and then head back immediately to save the town. In the guide, you do not have access to Mexico from the start of the story, so it is impossible to save all the towns until you have progressed past a certain point in the story. Once accessible, the guide prioritised saving the remaining towns. After you have the award, it is entirely optional whether you want to go back and save towns that fall under attack again. Another thing you need to watch out for as you progress through the story is mythical creatures spawning. These will be indicated by a blue circle on your radar and a notification tooltip. If you see this, you should stop what you are doing and focus on the mythical creature. This includes the 4 horses of the apocalypse and the chupacabra. I have shown in the guide where I encountered all these mythical animals, however they may not occur in the exact same locations or times as I show in my guide. The horse Pestilence will appear in West Elizabeth, War in New Austin, and Famine in Mexico. Once you have broken all 3 of the horses, death may spawn anywhere on the map. The chupacabra may spawn anywhere in Mexico after you have completed Undead Hunter Challenge 4. For the chupacabra, I make sure in the guide that Undead Hunter Challenge 4 is completed before entering Mexico to maximise your chance of randomly running into it in the wild whilst you are on your travels. I show where I found it, but be aware it may appear in a different location in your playthrough. The death horse is particularly rare to spawn. Whilst again I show where I found him on my run, it should be noted you will automatically be given the horse death at the end of the story. so you may choose simply not to search for him and complete the Horse of the Apocalypse challenges and breaking the unicorn after the story is complete. This is certainly the easier way to do it, but I know some players prefer to get 100% on story completion, so the guide is laid out to enable this. Undead Hunter Challenge 1 and 2 require you to kill a certain amount of undead. The first require you to kill 100 fresh undead and 25 bolters. Bolters are identified as ones that crawl towards you on all fours. You may not get this at exactly the same time as me, but I deliberately did not kill any undead in my travels off video. I simply rode past them. So if you kill all the undead you see and still need when going from A to B, you should get this at about the same time as me on reaching Armadillo, if not sooner. For the second challenge, you need to get 25 bruisers, those are the big fat ones, and 14 wretches, the ones that spit green poison. Getting the bruisers shouldn't be difficult, as you should naturally have to kill that many saving towns and clearing graveyards as shown in the guide, providing you got the first challenge out of the way at the same time as me. However, we want to get the wretches killed before we head down to Mexico, so all of the Undead Hunter challenges up to number 4 are unlocked, allowing the Chupacabra to spawn, and they are relatively rare to find early in the story. This guide shows the spawn points for wretches in New Austin, so you can farm them easily in free roam. Keep those things in mind as you start your run for 100% in Undead Nightmare, and hopefully you'll find that the guide will make the rest of it very easy.